Hello and welcome back to TEW 2016, the branding solution, and we're here with Smackdown, and we're in the middle of, a couple of weeks ago we had the Smackdown pay-per-view, so tonight we crowned the new #1 contender for Sasha Banks' title. The match was between Emma, Bayley and Nikki Bella, so that is the main event, but today we start as always with the pre-show, where we're using people not quite getting used yet against the NXT talent, which I got carried away with and signed way too many women wrestlers in the NXT, and probably a few too many who are basically jobbers on this card. The jobbers are basically going to win the NXT guys to keep the momentum going, so they should be able to put on good matches eventually. This isn't one of them, but Alexa Nicole defeats Christina Vaneri. The next one is SAS defeat Katrina Lee and Nikki Glencross, which is obviously Nikki Cross from the NXT. I've only just discovered that I had her and who she was because I haven't seen NXT in a while. So there may be future. I was hoping they might be a good little tag team, hoping there was going to be some form of chemistry, but there's not, which is disappointing. Nia Jax squashes Blair Alexis. As you can see, performance is 7. I found potentially the worst possible person to put her in a match with, to see if the popularity increases in a jobbing match. We continue our terrible matches apparently, with Lu Shrew defeating Andrea. She's on my hot prospect list, so I've got to see what she can do. According to this, it's not much. And we have Taylor Hendricks defeating Stephanie Sinclair. Another terrible match. Yeah, well, this isn't a very good show so far. Brooke Adams and Candice LaRue defeat Lovelace and Muzami. Obviously, this is another little tag team I put together by accident, and they're working quite well. So I'm going to keep them together for now. And Aaliyah defeats Nicole Matthews. Yet another terrible match where it's probably the highlight of the show so far. Good job, these are all pre-show matches, right? And a poor show, we've upgraded. Carmella defeats Evie. Carmella's probably the biggest name on the pre-show. This was the main event of the pre-show. Our main show starts with Charlotte demanding Becky answer after her attack last week. At the end of last week's Smackdown, Charlotte lost to Bayley clean, and afterwards Becky Lynch came out and attacked Charlotte. So this was a good start. The idea is that Becky is tired of seeing Charlotte, who has lost 3 pay-per-view matches against Sasha, once when she lost the title, once in the triple threat, but she wasn't pinned, and once at Night of Champions. Why does she get yet another chance to have a rematch with Sasha and Becky wasn't in the qualifying matches? I kept that on purpose, so Becky just wants her chance at the title, and they go back and forth like you would, and then Charlotte goes to attack Becky, who puts her in a disarmer, but Charlotte manages to slide out the ring just in time. Now 98 to start the show is a great start. In our first match, we have Taryn Terrell defeating Kaylee Lee Ray. It's not an important match. I only did Taryn to win a match. And afterwards, Nia Jax comes out to devastatingly attack Terrell. Nia Jax won by countout at the pay-per-view. So they are going to have a rematch in time. There's just building up to it. Alexa Bliss defeats Levy Bates, which I'm surprised is actually a really good match. Which is great to see. Alexa Bliss obviously wins, and afterwards Alexa grabs the mic, demanding Paige give her one more match, and she wants a last woman standing match at Unstoppable. Basically last week Paige cost Bliss her match in the world title qualifiers. G next beat Psycho Ward. Yeah, this was 2 heels against each other. Got a lot of improvements. Psycho Ward were the last challengers for the women's tag titles, at which the Forgotten Generation come out. Clapping after G-Neck's victory, saying, "Well done, girls, you beat the losers who couldn't beat us. So you might finally be the competition we're looking for, but for now, you'll have to wait for Unstoppable before you get a chance at our belts." It's a good ish segment. They've been my only women's tag champions. There aren't too many. I have to keep building new ones. And they beat 2 biggish ones and other ones some smallish ones. And having this next 2 new contenders, let's see what we can do. Asuka defeats Summer Rae. I'm not liking the sound of that injury. We'll have to worry about that later. And afterwards, Carmella comes to attack Asuka, but ends up in the hold, which wouldn't make sense if Asuka was injured. But never mind. They are going for one more showdown, hopefully, but that could be changing now. This is even more surprisingly good than I thought it would be. Naomi defeats Cameron. Yeah, just a quick squash match for Naomi. Yes, I did rehire Cameron, just a job. And the next match is the rest of Fox's clients, or Fox and Ember Moon, teaming up with Gail Kim to take on the beautifully dangerous Williams, Evans, Lane and Marie. A 4-on-3, and Gail Kim takes the pin, which, okay. It continues this in a way, but it's not going the best direction. Mickie James confronts the general manager Edge inside his office, wanting a match against TaylorMade, one where she can't escape from. After last time, Mickie James lost, then got beat up, and then went to get some revenge when she was attacking somebody, only for TaylorMade to escape without the crowd. So Edge agrees and makes them a match unstoppable inside a steel cage. It's a good rating, so I'll continue on. And we put together a nice little 6-person match. It's not the most important one. Paige defeats Dana Brooke in the match. Obviously Dana is the weak link of this. You can see there. During the match, I can't really say it during the match, but TaylorMade just walked out on the match. I think that's the fair way to put it, which led to Mickie running after her. But Becky Lynch distracted Charlotte, leaving Dana Brooke 2-on-1 against Paige and Natalya. Sasha Banks sits down with Edge to discuss the upcoming triple threat match. This is like pre-recorded sort of interview that we do. Sasha doesn't care who she faces, Emma, Bayley, Nikki. She'll walk out of Unstoppable, the women's champion once again. I fear nobody. I am the boss. And it's a nice rating, moves to storylines on. In our main event, which I'm actually quite happy with. I thought it would be a lot worse than that. Emma defeats Nikki Bella by submission. Yeah, I went with Emma. I'm doing the same as what I've done on Shockwave. I've given the champ a slightly weaker opponent for the next pay-per-view, because Survivor Series is the build. You have to build all around Survivor Series after this pay-per-view, and we can build leading up to the Rumble and Mania, etc. afterwards. So, yeah, I've gone with this. Emma as the new #1 contender. And afterwards, Sasha Banks comes down to shake Emma's hand, but Emma just brushes her aside and walks off. So it's built up Emma and Sasha. There are going to be some interesting other matches put together, but for now we'll end the show and see if we did make it into the 80s. We got a 79, okay. That's not the worst rating. If it's based on the 3, so the last segments were good. but because we're trying a different opponent, we have to take a few hits, and let some of the other storylines move things forward. As we see, we're going to have Becky and Charlotte, and there's going to be Alexa Bliss and Paige again. I know it's a rematch, but they do work well together, and there could be a few chances for both of them to go to the next level. Depending on Asuka's injury, depends on where the rest of the show's going. But we've still got to book Bayley, Nikki, Natalya, and a few others into matches, so we've got a few weeks for that. We'll head back to the main screen and beg that Asuka's injury isn't that bad. And we're back, and we'll see what this injury is. I don't know if that's good or bad. It sounds bad, I'm not going to lie. Two months. Great. We'll see what we can do now that we've lost Asuka for 2 months. Emma is turning into a good worker. That's good to see. Doesn't connect with the fans. Great. I've been trying to push her. Let's see if we can push this injury through any sort of surgery to make it quicker. "16 days, that's really good. Thank good. We can. She can't even do angles, which is disappointing, but so if I'd actually done that Carmella had attacked her, I could have read her off telly for a while. Which would have been quite coincidentally good. But hugging time is 80. Impact made 68, quite good. Nia Jax, okay, this will always take time. These ones are being taken out of it because they've done their job. Moonrise in, no divas, and the main event 80. I'm glad for that. Still got a couple more, and I think we've got now 68. Asuka will have to. She missed 2 weeks, which is good because when it comes to the main lot, there's not too many people. I can see who the hops are. I'm not sure why Shane Thorne's on there. He hasn't made a match yet. As you can see from pre-booking, we've still got a couple of cruiserweight matches. But the Smackdown pay-per-view can't show it because it will ruin the surprises in the upcoming matches. But as they're every 2 weeks, we have just had Night of Champions, which was week 4, so we're in week 2 here. So we've got 4 weeks until Unstoppable, so Asuka will be back in time for that, which is good and very lucky. So we're going to end this episode here, and we'll be back with Shockwave next time. Thank everybody for watching, and which matches would you like to see the women's competitors have against each other?